Hey guys, good evening. It is John C. Morley here, serial entrepreneur. Great to be with you on Inspirations for Your Life. Thanks so much for tuning in. It is a Tuesday evening. It's August 12th, 2025, and great to be with you. If you didn't know what the master topic was, well, we kicked that off on Saturday at the beginning of the week, and it is the power of story, exploring people, ideas, and events that shape us. And so the granular topic for tonight is Global Glimpse, Series 4, Show 33, Episode number 4. Hey guys, if you've never been here before and your first time, I want to welcome you. If you've been here 10, 20, or even a million times, I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart because I really do appreciate that you're making the choice to apply this to your life. If you haven't heard about BelieveMeAchieve.com, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and check it out after the show. Visit BelieveMeAchieve.com. It's available 24 hours a day. If you're thirsty like I am, I've got my RO water here. Feel free to get yourself some water, maybe another beverage of your choice. Could be a snack, could be a piece of fruit, some nuts, something sweet or tart. Totally up to you. All right, guys, without any further ado, let's get this show kicked off, all right? So welcome once again to the Inspirations for Your Life show, where I blend cultural fusion with practical wisdom to help you create a life that is filled with purpose, resilience, and of course, joy. I'm your host, podcast coach, serial entrepreneur, video producer, engineer, graduate student, and passionate life learner here to share some amazing wisdom with you tonight and every single time that I go live. And when you're passionate like I am and a believer in the limitless potential of the human spirit, we're going to dive in to 15 transformational mindsets that can elevate your thinking, strengthen, of course, your resolve, and help you lead with authenticity, whether you're chasing a big dream, navigating a tough season, or simply just ready for your next breakthrough. These insights will give you the clarity, energy, and the courage to take the next bold step in your life. Our first point is number one bold step can change everything. Every great transformation starts with a single courageous move. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be yours. That one decision to apply for a job, to launch the new project, or start the conversation could open up the doors you never imagined were possible. The power lies in motion. Boldness attracts momentum. Number two, progress loves patience. I have to tell you that it loves patience. In our instant gratification world, we often forget that real change takes time. Patience is more than waiting. It's trusting, guys. It really is. It is trusting the process and knowing that consistent effort compounds into extraordinary results. Number three, guys, small habits, big results. It's not the once in a while effort that changes your life. It's the daily, consistent thing you do that's almost invisible. It's the choices you make, the simple habits you take part in. Practicing this consistently, having a way of creating massive impact over time. See, is what does the compound, just like, with a bank account, right? The money itself doesn't earn interest in one day, but it compounds over time. Number four, motivation fades and discipline stays. I want to say that again. Motivation fades and discipline stays. Motivation will get you started, but discipline will keep you going when the excitement wears off. Discipline builds the structure that allows you to keep moving forward, even on those hard days, the rainy days, the days when you're not sure what you're doing. Number five, the power of walking away from what drains you. Letting go isn't a sign of weakness, folks. It's a strategic choice. When you walk away from environments, relationships, or commitments that drain your energy, you create space for the things that truly matter in your life. Number 4, aim high. Adjust as you go. Set big goals. Even if they feel out of reach, the journey will require you to adapt. But aiming high forces growth and pushes you beyond your comfort zone. Number 7, speak to yourself like a friend. Self-talk shapes your reality. Encouraging yourself with the same kindness you'd offer a friend builds confidence and, of course, resilience, making challenges easier to navigate. Number 8, guys, your struggles are building your strength. Difficult seasons may feel like roadblocks, but they're often training grounds. Every challenge you face adds a layer of resilience that will serve you later in life. Number 9, celebrate those little wins. Success is made of small victories. Recognizing and celebrating them fuels your motivation and keeps you focused on the bigger picture. And I think a lot of people sometimes, they get impatient because they want to be at the finish line. They want to be somewhere else, but they haven't really put in the time, put in the effort yet. Number 10, reframe those challenges into opportunities. Your perspective determines your reality. By choosing to see obstacles as opportunities to learn and grow, you'll transform setbacks into stepping stones. The sooner you do that, the quicker they'll start showing up in your life. Number 11, guys, gratitude shifts your focus from what's missing to what's abundant. It fuels positivity, strengthens relationships, and even boosts performance. Energy grows where attention goes. What you focus on expands. Directing your attention to positive, productive actions will amplify your results and mindset. And I think that's something a lot of people don't want to hear because they just want to take the fact that it's like they want it now, but they don't want to allow it to just show up. Energy grows where attention goes. What you focus on expands in your life. What you keep focusing on. Directing your attention to positive, productive actions will amplify your results and your mindset. Taking imperfect action beats waiting. Perfection is the enemy of progress. Starting before you feel ready allows you to learn on the go and opens doors faster than waiting for that perfect time, because there never really is a perfect time. Number 14, inspire others by living your truth. Authenticity is magnetic. When you lead by example and live in alignment with your values, you inspire others to do the same. Number 15, letting go creates space. For more, sometimes the best way to grow is to release what no longer serves you. This creates space mentally, emotionally, and of course physically for new opportunities to enter. A wise person once told me, and they said, John, when you get rid of things in your life that you don't need, and you get rid of those actions or habits, then there's space for new things to show up. Here's the part of the show I really like. So I'm going to go ahead, guys, and give you basically a personal story, one for each point tonight. And I'm hoping that this is going to solidify, that this is going to get you to understand why you need to act this way. The people that are impatient are going to be impatient for a while. I can't make them not be impatient. But I think the way to end impatience is to realize that when you put time into something, you really see that it's worth it, right? So I know that's not an easy thing for everybody here to understand, but the best way to understand it, folks, I'll tell you right now, it's by you making the choice to learn as you go. Now, maybe the learning is not necessarily the most comfortable thing, okay? But It gets you to experience, it gets you to grow, it gets you to make connections in your life. One bold step can change everything. Years ago, I was stuck in a comfortable but uninspiring position. It was actually a government job, but I knew I was going to be there part time while I was getting the money together to build my company. One day, I made a bold decision to pitch an idea, an idea that I thought would really transform where I was going. And yeah, I realized I needed more time. That idea was to start a tech podcast. Later, I started this podcast, but that's what happened. I didn't have a polished plan, just some raw passion. That single step led my first episode, which ignited a career by something I never could dream was possible. Taking that leap was scary, but it unlocked some momentum for me that changed everything. It reminded me progress starts when you act, not when you're perfect. Progress loves patience. In building my first business, I faced months of slow growth and constant setbacks. It was tempting to quit or jump to the next shiny opportunity, but I committed to showing up daily, trusting the consistency would pay off. Over time, those small efforts compounded, and eventually the business took off. Patience wasn't passive waiting, it was active trust in the process. Small habits, guys, big results. Early in my entrepreneurial journey, not my serial, but my entrepreneurial journey, I began journaling just 5 minutes each morning. It felt trivial at first, but over months, it sharpened my focus and mindset dramatically. Those tiny daily habits, writing, reading, learning, became the foundation of everything I built. It taught me that big wins often start from small, repeated actions. I think that's an important thing to understand. Motivation fades, guys. Discipline stays. When starting a podcast, motivation gave me energy at first, but soon the challenges hit. There were technical issues, even though I was very knowledgeable. I hadn't done things on radio, on TV, didn't know about limitations, about file formats, how to be so specific. What kept me going was discipline, um, setting a schedule, sticking to it, and even when I didn't feel like it, I still did. The structure became my secret weapon, showing me that discipline outlasts fleeting motivation. I remember a national radio station that I was working with, and they were using very old technology. And in the beginning, they were not supportive of me. And I decided I needed to cut the strings. Even though I was scared, I had to do it because they were just going to hold everything over my head. And that wasn't the way to do things. The power of walking away, guys, from what drains you. I once stayed somewhere that was draining my energy and creativity. It felt like loyalty kept me tied, but eventually I realized the cost to my well being was, well, too high. Walking away was tough, but freeing. It opened space for new collaborations that align with my vision and values. Letting go isn't quitting, it's choosing growth. I had a client many, many years ago that started having challenges in their business. And we kept offering solutions, but they didn't believe where they were going. And they would always hold us accountable for things they didn't do. Finally, I said to them, I don't think we're a match anymore. You're a nice person and all, but we're not a match. And so I'd like to say goodbye. They look at me like I'm nuts. Aim high. Adjust as you go. When I first set my goal to become a recognized podcast coach, it felt far out of reach. But setting that big targeted goal pushed me to stretch skills, learn new marketing, and meet new people. Along the way, I adjusted tactics, but the vision kept me moving forward. Aiming high fuels the growth, even when the path isn't perfect. It's like you're on this journey, okay? And the journey that you're on, you have these headlights, right? But for whatever reason, the headlights are not very bright. But you still keep staying on the road because you know the path and you know you're going to get to a brighter light at the end of the tunnel or at the end of the roadway. And you do. But when you're on that journey, it can be dark, it can be challenging, it can get scary. Being an entrepreneur, guys, you don't have a lot of friends when you start because people don't understand they got to make sacrifices, and you're dedicated, and that's why you do it. Speak to yourself like a friend. During a particularly tough project I was working on, I caught myself spiraling in negative self-talk. This was many years ago. I'm not good enough. This will never work. I consciously paused and switched to encouraging myself as I would a close friend. John, you're doing the best you can. Keep going. You have the energy. You have the ideas. You're getting better every day. That shift lightened the mental load and helped me bounce back stronger than ever and to build my unstoppable resilience. Your struggles, folks, are building your strength. One of my hardest seasons was navigating a major business setback right around COVID time. It felt like failure time, but looking back, those struggles were resilience training. I learned new skills, built grit, and developed empathy that deepened my leadership. Struggles often feel like walls, but can become the foundation of strength. And I think that's something that most people don't realize. You have to embrace, um, you know, the beginning, the middle, and the end. Celebrate the little wins. Early podcast episodes had tiny audiences, but I celebrated every positive comment and milestone, even my first 10 listeners. Those small celebrations kept motivation for me high and made the journey, well, joyful. Celebrating the momentum for the big ones ahead because the little builds that. Reframe your challenges, folks, into opportunities. You can do it. When faced with a delayed project launch, I chose to see it as not a failure, but as extra time to improve content and marketing. That mindset shifted stress into creativity, and the launch became one of my best. Reframing challenges helps unlock solutions and peace of mind. Gratitude as a daily power source. Every morning, I write down 3 things I'm grateful for. Even simple things like a great cup of coffee, a helpful conversation, being able to breathe, being healthier. That habit refocused me and my mind on abundance instead of lack, fueling positivity and stronger relationships with myself, my team, family, and friends made a world of difference. Energy grows where attention goes. This also is similar to something I always say, uh, you know, basically what you focus on, right? So wherever you focus, that's what's going to happen. So when I focused my attention on learning podcasting, just to be a more dynamic host rather than worrying about competition, my energy and results skyrocket. 175,000 downloads. What we focus on expands. So I chose to put my energy into growth areas and ignore the distraction because you're always going to get people that are not going to agree with you or they're going to be against your team. Taking imperfect action beats waiting. Remember that. There is no perfect time to act. I once delayed launching a coaching program because I wanted everything to be perfect. When I finally launched it, I realized imperfections didn't hold me back. In fact, early feedback helped me improve faster. And taking action imperfectly opened doors, waiting for perfectionists to catch up. Number 14, inspire others by living your truth. Sharing my authentic journey, including the journeys of the struggles and the doubts, well, it helped me. It helped me to understand the connections, my audience. And so being real invites others to embrace their own truth, creating a ripple effect of courage and pure authenticity. Letting go. A lot of people don't want to hear letting go. Letting go creates space for more. I had to let go of old business models that no longer served me to make room for new opportunities. That process was uncomfortable but necessary. Letting go isn't loss, it's clearing the path for growth and abundance. But when you have an ego, and that ego is saying you can only do it this way, unfortunately, you're like a huge boulder that's holding you down. Okay. I mean, if you're trying to get off the ground, a huge boulder holding you down is something that isn't going to let that plane go back up in the air, right? Or that air, let's say that air balloon. It's not going to let you back in the air. And the reason is it becomes a problem. Okay. Hopefully that makes sense. I think the biggest thing I want to tell you is that you have to understand where you're coming from. When you can understand where you're coming from, then other people will basically be, let's say, on track with you. But if you can't get alignment with your own purpose, if you can't figure out how to put one foot in forward of yours, right? When you teach people how to walk, they have to put one foot in front of the other. So the only thing I want you to focus on is just putting that one foot in front of the other, then that foot in front of that foot. And that's all I want you to focus on, nothing else. Just put one foot in front of the other foot in front of the other. I remember when I learned how to ski a while back, I was an intermediate skier. And they said to me, John, don't worry about the whole mountain. Just worry about the immediate of how you're keeping your skis. And everything else would just sort of fall into place. And you know what? It does. It does. But a lot of times there's baggage from us or from others or from the environment. And it stifles not only our creativity, but our productivity. And that also robs us of our passion. It causes us to get discouraged. So it's important to keep a great positive attitude. Even when everything around you just says no, believe, as my slogan says, and you will achieve. When we think about glimpses of the past, for example, can teach us some amazing lessons. What if I said to you, take a glimpse of your present day? What was your morning like? And I'm talking about past in the sense of your immediate past, not your like real past. Something that's less than a few hours. It's very fresh. Because when we focus on that past that's more current, we remember it. We can draw from the lesson. And then you know what we do, ladies and gentlemen? We throw the baggage away. Too many people I know want to not learn the lesson. They just want to complain about the baggage. And I think that's something that a lot of people, I don't know, I think they just kind of like look for a reason for it not to be the way it should be. And maybe this happens because other people are not supporting our belief. You know, there's a very interesting point I want to share with you. When you're starting something new, okay? Nobody wants to, I like to say, get on a train that's still in the station. Nobody wants to get on a boat that's still at the dock, right? Nobody wants to get on an airplane that's still at the gate. So, what do all these things mean? Well, people oftentimes don't want to do something new or try something until other people have tried it or until you've proven that it's been successful. Now, that's a real lousy way to think about it, but let's face it, a lot of people are selfish and they want proof that they should invest their time. It's unfair, but it's how our world evolves. So when that plane is moving at how many miles per hour, people would risk their lives to jump onto it as it's taking off. Now, they're not really going to do it, but you get my point. Nobody ever wants to join something or join a team that isn't moving. Even if they realize they've got to start first, they don't understand that. They want to see that they can just be on the team and just be there. But they don't want to be part of the building process. I call those people superficial. Because when they get what they want, you know what they're going to do? They're going to leave you flat. So, like I said to you before, there are many people that will not be interested in anything you do until that plane is successful, until it's moving, till the boat has left the dock, right? The plane has left the airport gate. And this happens because people are fearful that they're going to be identified. Instead of trying to help and support, they get more concerned about how's it going to make them look. It's actually not that great when you think about that. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur. Do check out BelieveMeAchieve.com for more of my amazing, inspiring creations. And I'm going to catch you guys real soon. Have yourself a great rest of your evening.